Yo, 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 Coach Ray back with another video on solving quadratics. This is the second part of solving quadratics using quadratic formula. Okay, so we did example 1. Example 2 gets its own video because it's awesome. Okay, but here we go. First thing I want you to see when you're looking at example 2 is it is in standard form, which is beautiful to us. We don't got to move anything around. We're good to go right from the jump. Okay, so it is in standard form. So I can immediately start identifying A is 3 again. B is positive 4, C is positive 5. All right? Just taking those numbers out, A, B, and C. Step 2, I'm going to plug them all into the quadratic formula. X equals negative B. In this case, B is positive 4, so it's now going to turn into negative 4. Okay, plus or minus big old square root. Okay, B squared is going to be 4 squared. Minus 4 times A is 3 times C is 5. All over 2 times A, which is going to be 2 times 3. All right, so everything's substituted in. All right, I'm going to start with my discriminant again, just to check to see what we're messing with here. 4 squared is 16. Okay, back here I've got negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Negative 12 times 5 is negative 60. So 16 minus 60, I believe, is going to be negative 44. So I'm just messing with the discriminant first. Negative 44 is obviously smaller than 0. Did anybody write down when your discriminant is smaller than 0, how many solutions are there? There are no real solutions. No real solutions. There are solutions. What kind of solutions we have? Imaginary. And here's how you should know. Eyes up front, don't miss this. Last week, we spent a whole bunch of time working with negatives under the square root. And the first thing we did off to the side here was break it up so that we have the square root of 1 off of there. Okay? Sorry, the square root of negative 1. Because once we break off the square root of negative 1, that's going to turn into I. So we now know we're going to have an imaginary number as part of our answer. All right, but that's how the discriminant can help. If you have a negative down here, you automatically know right away, boom, I'm going to have 2 imaginary answers on this problem. Okay? Let's see. Let me come back here. Let's do negative 4 plus or minus, and then we got over 6. All right. Negative 44, not a perfect square, so we want to check to see if we can simplify. I already started simplifying up here. I broke off the negative 1. So I'm going to do square root of 4 times square root of 11. So that way, this will turn into my square root of negative 1 turns into I. This turns into whole number 2. That stays square root of 11. Okay, when we write it down here, I got x equals negative 4 plus or minus I times 2 times square root of 11 is just going to be 2I square root of 11, and I've got all of that over 6. All right, so I had to recognize how to kind of simplify the square root of negative 44. I hope you recognize at this point that we're not done. There's a bunch of even numbers up there. Okay, so I break it up like this. X equals negative 4, 6, plus or minus 2I square root of 11 over 6. This makes it a lot easier for me to see how I'm going to reduce. So this one, they can reduce by 2. So I got x equals negative 2/3 plus or minus. Here, stuff outside the house can't mess with stuff inside the house. But I've got a 2 and a 6 that are both outside. So I can go like this. 1 times I is just I square root of 11. And then on the bottom, I get 3. Okay, a problem like this where your denominators are the same, I think Alex is going to tell you to write it with 1 denominator instead of 2 because both denominators are the same. And this is actually a scenario where I kind of agree with Alex. Okay, so I'm going to just rewrite it as negative 2 plus or minus, oops, I, that's an ugly I, square root of 11 all over 3. So if Alex asks you to write it with 1 denominator, that's what it would look like. That's it for example 2 and this set of notes. Thank you everybody for watching. Be sure to subscribe, get push notifications, tell your friends about me. I'll see you later. Deuces.